Welcome everybody. Can everybody hear me with the mic? Perfect. Excellent. I'd like to welcome everybody to the ward debate we're having for this ward. My name is Mike Rocha. I'm the GSTA, Greater Sudbury Taxpayers Association President. A couple housekeeping items before we get started. I'd like to make sure everybody has their cell phones off. You usually have to give about 30 seconds for that to happen. That's the first one. Other item is name tags. So the GSTA members have red name tags if you want to talk to us. The candidates all have blue name tags. So at the end of the event, there's going to be an opportunity for you to go ask questions and directly to the candidates. So all the people with the blue name tags. Another item is the event is being videotaped. So we have 2 video cameras that are recording the event. If you want to sit next to the camera and chat, that's fine. But everybody will get to hear it on YouTube what you're talking about. So if you are sitting next to the camera, be aware, try not to talk, and also obviously try not to bump the cameras. As well, the washrooms I believe are down there. The exits are that way if there's a reason to exit. And I think that's all for the housekeeping. Just want to talk a little bit about what the GSTA has done and the reason we did this. We all met as a board. We decided that we were going to focus on the ward candidates as opposed to the mayor. One of the reasons is there really hasn't been, in our view, an opportunity for each person, each ward, and the people that live in each ward to have a chance to chat directly in an open forum where all the candidates are there and you can see the different viewpoints. And we all know that, and we've seen it over the last term, that the councillors are very important in terms of getting things done at City Hall. So what we wanted to do was to create a forum where the voters could interact, see what the candidates are, viewpoints are on items, and then hopefully make the most informed decision to get the best councillor. So that's the avenue that we took. It was quite an undertaking. I mean, it's been very fortunate. We've had a very good board that have put in quite a few volunteer hours. And we've had, I think, close to over 1,000 people attend these debates. So it's been very well attended and very well received. So that's been great. The format that we set up was we sent some questions to each of the candidates prior to the debate, where they have, and we're going to go through those questions in the first half, where they'll get a chance to respond to those questions. Then you as the voters also have an opportunity to put forward questions as well. So we have papers that are at that table and the other table over at that end. If during the debate you have a question that you want to ask, just go write it down. Bernie will be up in the front. He'll have a couple flags. You can see him, he'll be putting flags up. Just give him your question that you have, or get it handed up to him. There's no guarantee that we're going to get to all the questions, but we will have the second session will be questions from the floor. Okay, that's what I have from that. We are very fortunate that the moderator that we have was graciously accepted 9 of our debates, so he's very well versed in what we're doing, and he's been very fair, professional, and efficient in hosting these debates. So it's great that this is our last debate, that we also get to close our debates with Jerry LaBelle. And so I'd like at this time to introduce Jerry, and he'll start the debates.
We're just going to turn the microphone up a bit because you can't hear as well in that corner as you will through this corner because the speakers are at this end. So good evening and welcome. Great turnout, which is fantastic. I think that, can you hear okay now? Okay, good. Great turnout, and thank you very much for coming out. This is very important, and this is very important for you and for the people up front here because they get very few chances to actually explain their platform and discuss things with you and answer questions that are of importance to you and to the people of Sudbury. So what I want to do is a couple of things. I want you, first of all, to recognize that all 7 people up front here are volunteers. Okay, all 7 people have put up with their own money, their own time. Their friends have put out time and money as well to help them run because they think that they have an idea of how they would like to see this city run and what their vision is. And that's very important. So with that, you need to respect them. So I will not allow any heckling of any kind or comments of any kind. If you do, I will ask you to sit down. If you don't, we will escort you up. John's going to do it for me, right, John? I took the biggest guy in the room there to get him up. The other thing is too is that rules for this evening. First of all, they will have 2 minutes with opening comments. That's to tell you who they are, what their vision of this city is. At the end, they will also have 2 minutes to close. I'm a stickler for time, so if I start talking over them, it's because they're supposed to have been shut up at that point in time. Okay? So you will know that if I start talking, it's because they've gone over time. We have somewhat flags here. When you see the red flag, it means they have a minute left, and that the time's over. The yellow flag, if it's the opening or closing statements, they will have 1 minute left of the yellow flag, and when we get into the 1 minute questions or answers, then we'll have 15 seconds. I think I might have messed it up a little bit, but we're close. They know the rules. For the people up front, I ask you no personal comments whatsoever about other candidates. The last time that happened, the person was asked to sit down and wasn't able to speak for the rest of the day, and this was a half-day debate. Did not go well for that person. His supporters were very disappointed, everything else, but the rules are the rules. This is about platform, it's not about personal lives. So please, let's keep those to yourselves. We're not going to ask you to comment about the other people's platforms because this is an information session, it is not a debate. So it's a bit of a different format. So people will have a chance here to express their views and everything else in a safe atmosphere. Everyone okay with that? Okay? The order of speaking was chosen by the organization before we started. They drew numbers, and the first person to speak is, I should put my glasses on, I think it's Deb. I hate growing older. Notice I didn't say old. Deb McIntosh is first. Deb? You know, I would prefer for the opening statements that people stand so people can see you as well. Okay, if you don't mind.
I'd like to take part of my 2 minutes. I've had a knot in this pit of my stomach all day since this morning in Ottawa. And I just want to say that I'm really glad that I live in a country where I can speak my mind and we can come together like this and discuss these sort of things. I'd like to take 10 seconds of my time for just a moment of silence for the soldier who died this morning. I am Deb McIntosh, and I'm an accountant, and I live in the ward. I live in the ward with my husband, Ralph, and we raised our children in the Long Lake area. They went to Long Lake Public School. They're now adults, and they're now no longer living in Sudbury. For the last 11 years, I've been the executive director of Rainbow Roots Association. It's a not-for-profit that's been building the trails and promoting the trails throughout the city, including the Trans-Canada Trail. The Trans-Canada Trail that we've been working on most recently has been through Coniston, and we're working on getting out to Wanapitei. So I'm very familiar with both Coniston and Wanapitei. I'm also currently on the board of directors of St. Andrew's Place as the treasurer, and the Sudbury Community Foundation, and Camp Manitou as its vice president. Camp Manitou is a residential camp for children, a completely volunteer run. I'm offering the citizens of Ward 9 the experience I've gained by working collaboratively with 3 successive councils, working with the federal and provincial government, working with community groups, and working with both large and small businesses throughout Greater Sudbury. I want to work with you in this community to make our ward better, to make our city better. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paul. Stopp, please.
Good evening. My name is Paul Stopp, Ward 9 candidate for the City of Greater Sudbury. I would like to thank the Sudbury Taxpayers Association for having me here to speak tonight. 4 years ago, I ran for council and was very pleased with my results and gained a lot of knowledge. I enjoyed working with managers and staff to acquire results. My message was always for change and for progress. As we all know, we had little change and very little progress. I've lived in Sudbury area all my life and served on many boards and committees. As a local businessman and your city councillor, I will work hard to form a solid team and work with the mayor and councillors to bring the city to its next level. I would like to initiate 7 to 10 priorities approved by mayor and council at the beginning of term in office. They must be measurable and achievables. These priorities must be placed on all stationery whenever we receive our agendas. We must work with each department and staff and execute efficiencies to regulate our municipal taxes. We need to bring industry and development to Sudbury and work with them rather than losing tax dollars. Council must develop and maintain recreational facilities and partner with private sector. We must work with staff and contractors to be sure we get our roads completed with best results and cost efficient. I know that we are faced with many other issues, and I am prepared to put the time and effort to make Sudbury a better place to live. I have much to offer to the citizens of Ward 9: honesty, integrity, enthusiasm, energy, knowledge, and a willingness to work with all levels of government. Thank you very much.
Mr. Erin Beaudry, please.
Good evening and thanks for coming to the debate. I'm Erin Beaudry. A little bit about myself. I'm 36 years old. I have a wife and a 3-year-old son. Since 2001, I have worked at valet in numerous roles, and since 2010, I have also been a full-time realtor. I moved into Ward 9 in 2011 because it's the best and fastest growing ward in Greater Sudbury. Professionally, I have experience with unions, in business, and I was a board member of the Nickel District Conservation Authority between 2004 and 2006. I am best for this job because I'm prepared to keep tax increases down and provide you with exceptional customer service. The one thing I've learned in business is that, like in politics, customer service is number one, and I have a proven track record of exceptional customer service. Also, my platform of lowering tax increases, 24-hour construction on all main roads and intersections, and creating partnerships to get arenas and sports facilities built now lays the foundation for a future in this city that will provide the same opportunities that the kids down south have. We can't keep raising taxes. We need to put an end to the tax and spend policies at City Hall. I know that people, whether on a fixed retirement income or who work for a living, can't go to their employers and demand a 15% raise over 3 years. I will find the savings and invest in the proper infrastructure so we can grow. Over the past 4 years, Tom Davies Square has been a little bit dysfunctional. We need positive, youthful change, and I have the experience and network to find the solution and get results. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Wyman McKinnon.
Thank you, Jerry. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank the GSTA for, again, holding this event, and to the Colonial Inn for hosting it as well. My name is Wyman McKinnon. I reside at 198 Caruso Street in Coniston. I am married with my wife, Diane. We have 3 adult children and 6 grandchildren. Coniston and the whole Ward 9 is a great place to live and a great place to work and play as well. Just to give you a bit more information about myself, I know that we're in an election here, and there's been many issues and many criticisms that's come forward. Well, I'm here to put a positive face on our city, not a negative face. When we put the negativity out all the time, we discourage people coming and staying and building and providing jobs in our great city. That's not how you build a city, by spreading negativity all over the place. You invite them in, you create an environment of friendliness, and you do that through your politicians, through your city hall, but through your community partners. That's who makes your community friendly, is your community partners. And I know we have great community partners. I've been vice chair of the Coniston Can for the past few years, and we've always put a positive face on every project we've taken on, and every one of them has succeeded dramatically. And that's why, because we always go with the positive